What's up, Amazon sellers? Everyone is talking about Q4, Christmas. That is the time to make money. But if you ever thought about what happens after Q4, then watch this video because I'm going to share everything you need to know. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson and I've been selling on Amazon now for the last 4 years doing the online arbitrage model. Now, within the UK, I'm doing 7 figures selling on Amazon. That's within the last 12 months. And also as well, selling in the USA as well. Now, hopefully I'm planning to expand in the near future into another marketplace. And if you're interested to learn how I did it, then make sure you follow me and my journey by clicking the subscribe button down below. And obviously you're going to get notified as I share more content about what I'm learning selling on Amazon doing 7 figures. So first things first, why am I talking about life after Q4? Does Amazon not just shut after Christmas? Well, not at all. Many sellers are experiencing massive growth within their Amazon business, and that is during that Q4 period. In the Amazon game, Q4 is probably the most widely anticipated period of the year because our customers on Amazon are buying so many items during that holiday season, and Amazon sellers are obviously stocking up as well. Now, the result is many Amazon FBA sellers, or even FBM as well, are experiencing record-breaking revenues, and as a result, they're also experiencing record-breaking profits as well. Amazon business is going up, up, up. You might be asking what happens when Q4 ends, and does Amazon not even shut? No, not at all. Well, should we say, when Q4 ends, some Amazon sellers, should we say, are going to experience, and I'd probably say quite a lot of Amazon sellers actually, by the nature of the Amazon business, are going to experience that their sales numbers, their revenues are going to go down lower than what they have been in that Q4 period. And also as well, they might find it hard to increase their sales or grow their sales back up again, like what they experienced in Q4, the madness that is Christmas. Long-time Amazon sellers are really aware that selling in Q1 is not going to be the same as Q4, and that growth just isn't going to keep going. But for some beginners, this can be a real challenge for them, and this is the reason why today I made this video, because if you've never sold through a whole year and you're thinking what happens after Q4, well, this is obviously the video for you. Also, I'm going to give some top tips that maybe if you have gone through that process before, maybe you have sold on Amazon for a while, then also I'm going to give you some strategies that are going to help you to manage your business after that Q4 period. So let's jump into it now. Okay, so today we are talking about life after Q4. And yes, Amazon doesn't actually shut. So obviously we are going to continue selling. There will be another Q4 in another year's time. The question I want to ask you is, have you already thought about your strategy, what you're going to be doing in Q1? If you have, drop me a yes in the comments down below. Maybe share, I'd love to see what you're doing. Or if not, say no, and obviously you're going to be watching this video and hopefully thinking of some new strategies that are going to help you. So drop a yes, I know what I'm doing in Q1, or no, I haven't done it yet, I'm not sure, I'm waiting to experience, in the comments down below. Okay, so that leads me nicely onto chapter number 2, how to actually start selling in Amazon 2022, and should we say life after Q4. And yeah, Amazon doesn't shut. First things first, there are going to be lots of strategies you can do to continue your success in Amazon. But what I would say is it is important to start first with a goal, your goal for your business. Now, this is probably one of the most important things you need to have when, should we say, making your strategy for life after Q4. Now, there is a really good saying, you can't score unless you have a goal. And I think for you, whenever you're thinking about like developing a strategy, you've got to have a goal in mind, what you're looking to achieve. And if you are looking to continue the success you had over Q4 into 2022, then obviously having something to aim towards is going to be super important to you, having that goal so that you can score. Now, what I'm going to do now is, should we say, outline some strategies that I'm going to do in my Amazon business to help start Amazon 2022 better, which I think possibly you can look at as well going into 2022. So let's jump into them now. Okay, so first things first, let's just talk about dealing with the aftermath of Q4. Number one, what I'm going to say is reprice those Q4 seasonal products that you want to clear down. So it's going to be normal that, should we say, maybe not all the products that you plan to sell in Q4, like those Christmas products or maybe seasonal items for the Christmas period, they might not all sell. So for you, what you want to do is make sure you get them sold now, before they stick in Amazon. Last thing you want is some kind of like Christmas products staying in your inventory all the way through to summer. So getting them repriced, clearing them out of Amazon fulfillment centers, and also making sure you're not paying the storage fees on it is going to be helpful. Even if you're just breaking even, getting your money back, that's absolutely fine. So by doing this also as well, what you are going to do is obviously making space in your inventory in Amazon, and that is part of actually managing your restock space or your restock inventory limits within Amazon. So getting those items which should have been sold in Christmas that haven't been sold, cleared out, repricing, clearing them down, even taking a small loss, absolutely fine, get it done. Clear out the stores ready for the 2022. Now, number two, what I'd really recommend for you is about keeper graphs and checking the keeper graphs for products that have sold in, should we say, December, but are also still sellable in January. Now, why do I say this? Well, quite simply, sometimes, and if I give you a good example, advent calendars. Really weird thing about advent calendars. Most people think 1st of December, that's it, they all stop. Not at all. You'll still continue to see advent calendars selling in December, also January, February, and even March, and they'll go on to the year. It's a really strange phenomenon, and I don't really understand why, but people are still buying them. So looking at the data. Now, why do I say this? Is because there are going to be products in your inventory that maybe you didn't think would sell, but if you look at the keeper chart, you're going to identify that actually they are still selling throughout the rest of the year or up to a certain point. And obviously what you can do is manage those products and to plan your strategy about that individual SKU, that individual item, making sure it sells through, ready for the time when you continue selling it until it stops selling, i.e. looking at the keeper data. Now, one of the top things that we do within our business is whenever we're buying in December, we're always looking at the whole year keeper chart back in January last year to see does it continue selling, and obviously we know, do we have to clear it down before, or can we continue selling in January, February, March, etc. So top tip there. Okay, so we've just talked a bit about clearing down from the Q4 period, clearing down from Christmas, and that leads me on to my third point, which I think for you, which is probably one of the most important points you should be doing. Now, I've been doing this already for myself, and we're in the process of doing it, but for you, I think you should either do this already in the end of December or the end of December or early January. And what is that? Number one, or number three, should we say, is that is creating a budget. That is a budget or a plan or a forecast of what you want to be achieving next year or in 2022. Now, the one thing which I'll say for you is if you've not seen how to do this before, what I'd really recommend doing is watching my Road to 1 Million plan, and I'll drop a link up above, whereby I actually wrote out the entire budget for how I plan to achieve 1 million. Now, quite simply, we can all talk about revenues, how much we want to do, but the one big factor that we always need to look at is how much stock do we need to buy. And once we've planned out the revenue, we know then how much stock we need to buy because we understand our cost of goods, buy for $10, sell for $20, for example. So revenue, half that is the cost of goods. And we talk about that in that video. And then quite simply, once you've got a spend target, you can then break that down by weeks. And then obviously every single month throughout the whole of 2022, or every single week, you know exactly how much money you need to be spending on stock in order to generate the revenue, which means your business can grow. And obviously a certain amount of revenue at a certain percentage profit is going to generate you the profits you are looking for. So top tip number 3, I said it earlier and I'll say it again, you cannot score unless you have a goal. So do make sure you have a budget, a forecast, a plan, simple Excel spreadsheet of what you want to achieve for the next 12 months over that period, or what should we say, and what you need to spend. Have a look at how your revenue's gone last year, i.e., we know it. Q4 is a busy time, Q1, Q2, 3 slowly builds up, but Q1's probably a bit of a quieter time, especially February and March. Just make sure you're budgeting for that in your forecast. Look back at last year's revenue, and hey, maybe even share it with someone and say, what do you think to my forecast, my predictions, and see what they think, whether you've got the revenues right for each month. So have a plan, have a goal, and then obviously you can score. So that is super important. Top tip number 3. Write a budget, write a forecast ready for 2022. Okay, top tip number 4 is about investing in your business for long-term success. So what does this mean? Well, you've got a budget, you know exactly what you're doing, you've cleared down from Q4, you've gone through the madness, and hopefully you've made some good money. Now, the question what you want to think about is Q4 just gone, amazing time, we're loving it. Now, the next question I want to ask is, how can I make Q4 next year even better? And if I give you a number, just from my own learning, we've not even done Q4 yet. We're in Q4 right now as of filming this. Last December, I was probably doing like 60, 70,000 a month, which is really good numbers. This December, we're going to be doing over 300,000 a month. That's just a different level of operations. But why have I been able to achieve that? Well, Well, quite simply because I've invested over the whole of this year to get myself ready for that. And it's not like it's been exactly the same, not at all. I've reaped the rewards of that over this year, but this Q4 is going to be amazing. We're looking to try and do £1 million over the Q4 period in the UK. Now, what do I mean by investing? Well, quite simply, what you're going to be doing is looking at your business, looking at the operations and asking yourself, how can I grow this business? And generally speaking, your business is going to break down into three things. It's going to break down into cash. Can you get more cash? Because more cash means you can invest in more deals, and obviously more deals, more profit, more revenue. Number two, it's going to be about understanding about people. This might be around like VA sourcing, helping you scale your operations internally, doing that. That's going to be super important. And for me, I think we've probably doubled our team size in the last 12 months. And as a result, we've seen the revenues 5x. We weren't particularly small before that. And then finally, what I'm really going to say then is about your operations. And this isn't just about you and your operations and your people, but it's actually about your operations even externally. Things like prep centers, maybe using external providers, software, for example, using them, speeding up automation. So really thinking about your operations and the way they work, can you make it more efficient? And if you're constantly looking at those and going, how I can improve it, then it's going to make a massive difference. And that's something that I'd really recommend. Top tip number 4, you've got a plan. Now invest in your business to get ready for next Q4 so you can absolutely smash it. Okay, so I'm in the middle of talking about top tips for growing your business in 2022 and now coming out of the Q4 period. And I just talked about it then. Last year, we were doing probably £70,000 a month during the Q4 period. Now we're looking to over 300,000, and that is like game changing, absolutely game changing. And I will say this, I've not put any more extra money in. The business is just growing, we've become more efficient, we've figured out better ways to scale our business. Now the interesting thing is, and I talked about it a minute ago, is about scaling operations. Now, what do I recommend to anyone who's probably coming into maybe even like their first full year, even second year longer, is you've really got to think about people. And for what I say about that is like, I'm the biggest problem in my business. Sometimes I'm lazy, sometimes I don't do the work. I'm the boss, I don't have to. But what does it mean? It means that my business suffers because of me. And actually, I'm only one person. But if I can get help, if I can get someone to support me, it's going to make such a difference. What do I recommend? Getting a VA. Virtual assistant, someone who can work in your business, helping you grow it, even when you're asleep. It's going to just help you find opportunities to buy low, resell on Amazon for a profit. FastTrackFBA runs a service called the VA Academy. Now, this is the service I created whereby we find, hire, and train and support a virtual assistant in your business for 12 weeks to get results. Now, we have a whole workflow, a whole process that we go through. And I'd like to think we've been so successful that we've hired over 300 VAs in the last, I think about 2 years for 170 clients. And these are VAs which work in people's businesses. They are employed by those businesses, not for us, they work for their business. Now, the net result is that these people have come back, these customers of ours have come back for more VAs to help grow their business. Why? Because they've seen the power of building a team. There's a saying which I believe in. If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And that means building a team so that next year when Q4 rolls around, you have a great team behind you and you can absolutely smash it. Hopefully 5xing that revenue like I've done with my team. If you are interested in the VA Academy, want to know more, and even have a free 30-minute consultation call, I'll drop a link down below, fasttrackfba.com/VA. Check it out, I think you're gonna love it. Now, that leads me nicely onto my 5th and final top tip for you guys is, well, quite simply, what's really interesting, and I've seen this time and time again with some of the best investors within Amazon, is that during that January period coming out now at the Q4, there are lots of sales on. Now, why do I tell you this? Because the smart, the savvy investor is going to be investing into summer and maybe even to Christmas next year. Top tip number 5, invest into summer and maybe even Christmas next year. So let's kind of go into this. Now, there are items on sale within retailers, suppliers, for example, which are going to be seasonal products that they're just going to clear down. Like we said, it cleared them down, but also as well, these suppliers are going to be selling them, and they're going to be selling them at, I mean, deep discounts. Now, these, should we say, seasonal products, they only have a certain window that they can sell them for, i.e. for good performance. So what you can do is you can buy these products today, i.e. summer products, maybe even Christmas products next year, at a super low discount, and then obviously look to hold them in stock, hold them in your warehouse, and when summer comes, or maybe even Christmas next year, or even Halloween, those kind of times, is that you can obviously sell those products. By doing this, you can actually get massive margins, and I mean crazy margins. A couple of things that I've heard people buy before, things like outdoor sports equipment, rubber dinghies. No one wants to use a rubber dinghy in December, but you can buy them for like £30 and resell them for 150 in summer. And you can buy them directly from Amazon. You can do these things. It's just crazy. The opportunity for achieving super high ROIs and super high profit margins is going to be absolutely amazing if you can find those right products. So top tip for you, you've got your plan, you know what you're doing. Now it's about finding crazy bargains in those January sales that is going to help you invest ready for summer, maybe even Christmas onwards. Now, not just those, you can also think about preparing for Valentine's Day. Those things come up in February. There are so many seasonal opportunities where the January sales can help you out. Now, what I will say is there are lots of opportunities to grow your Amazon business, and the only limiting factor behind that is really you. What I will say is if you want to learn about growing your business more and sourcing for new products in January, looking for those sales, and maybe it's your first year and you want to improve your sourcing methodology, and my God, there are so many different ways to source. What I will do is I'll leave a playlist around here called Sourcing 101. It's all the top sourcing techniques we've got, and I can show you how-to guides on every single one of them. And we found great results with these. So check out that playlist, it's going to really help you. Now, what I will say is if you've liked this video, give me a big thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more like this, hit that subscribe button down below. But for me, Thomas Parkinson and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.